Welcome to a demonstration video for the WordPress posts exercise. Note that this video will age as WordPress is updated and the themes, default themes, and other features change. This is current as of February 2024. So to begin with, when you start your WordPress posts exercise, you are asked obviously to download the WordPress posts instructions, which you can see over here on this side of my screen. You are also asked to download some files in the form of a zip file. And when you download those files in the form of a zip file, you will find inside, after you extract the zip file, you'll have a folder called WordPress Themes and Posts. And inside that folder, you will find these images that we will be using for the next 2 weeks. Please make sure that you extract the files from the zip file. So if you see a little zipper icon on the folder, when you open it, you will need to right-click on that icon, choose Extract All, and extract the files from the zip file before you will be able to use them in this exercise. So make sure that you have extracted the files. Make sure that you have the posts exercise open. And then lastly, make sure you are logged into your WordPress dashboard. Make sure it is your WordPress dashboard. Make sure it is your URL. Make sure that you see the full menu on the left-hand side. In the instructions document over here, I know it's small on your screen, but really the instructions are quite clear on the first page what you're going to be doing. And then you'll find 3 pages on the inside: blog post 1, blog post 2, and blog post 3. These are the 3 sample or demo blog posts that you will be creating as part of this exercise. It's important that you create these 3 posts because they are going to be necessary in the next exercise that you will be doing the following week. These posts are only needed for the first 3 or 4 weeks of our WordPress hands-on exercises. These will be removed or deleted before you submit your final website. These do not need to be there in your final website. But for the next few weeks of the course, these definitely need to be there so you have some content to work with as you're learning. To complete this exercise, go in your dashboard to the Posts section. Here you should see a list of all of the posts in your website. And if this is a brand new website, as it should be for you, you should just simply see a Hello World post. To complete this, or to get started, you need to click on the Add New Post button. Now you can also click on this button up here and choose Post. And you'll also notice on the dashboard, there's a quick draft. You can also start a post here. But we're going to start a post under Posts, Add New Post. And what you get is after you read through these little tips, you will end up at a blank page. Think of it like a Microsoft Word document, except you have to start by adding a title. The title is the name of the page. And there are various tools that we've provided or instructions that we've provided previously. There is a blog post article that was part of your assignment last week that talks about taglines and titles. You should read that article because coming up with an effective title is an important element. I don't want to get into it now, but remember the title is critical to the success of your post, so put lots of thought and consideration into it. The examples that we're using in this exercise are not necessarily the best crafted examples out there. So to add a title, if you go to the second page of your exercise, you will notice everything you need to know is listed in here. First of all, you'll see that there does say title. I know it's small on your screen, but if you're looking at the Word document yourself, you will see something called title. You can either type that title into this box, or you can copy and paste it from the Word document. Regardless of how it gets there, I want you to put the title into the title box. Once the title is in the title box, you will see directly underneath it this area here that says type or choose a block. And there's a little plus at the end. This is where we are going to add our actual blog content. So the title is the name of the web page. This is where we're going to start adding our content. It's important to note that there are a few elements you may see on your screen right now. On my screen, you can see that I have this panel on the right-hand side. This panel can be opened and closed by clicking on this button up here, the settings button. It consists of a post section and a block section, and we'll talk about this a little bit later. Right now, we're dealing with this, which is a block. Now, WordPress builds its posts as it constructs it like Lego blocks. You are all familiar, I'm sure, with Lego blocks, the children's toy, also an adult toy, I suppose, because it's used by a wide variety of people. Lego blocks by themselves are just plain blocks. Some of them are different shapes, different sizes, different functions. But when you combine them together and you create a finished product, that's when you have something to look at. Well, in WordPress, we also construct our page from blocks. The default type of block is a paragraph block, which is basically just text. So I can start typing. And here is what is now a paragraph block. And I can type a sentence. I can type a lot of words in here. But this is a paragraph block. There are other blocks available. If I hover over this and I click on the plus symbol, the most recently used or commonly used blocks show up in this little flyout. And a paragraph block, a heading block, and an image block are the most commonly used. There's also an image gallery block. There is a list block for creating lists, and there is a quote block for creating a quote style of content. You'll notice at the bottom there is a Browse All button. If you click on that, a panel opens up on the left side, and you can see that there are lots and lots and lots of different kinds of blocks. Now, the blocks are organized into sections. Text-related blocks. If you hover over any of them, you can see the details in the panel on the right. Media-related blocks. Again, hover over so you can learn what they are. Design blocks. And again, you can hover over these to learn more about what they do. Just note that in the design section, there is a block called More, and we will be using this block later on. Just remember that. There are widgets. These are like little programs you can insert. There are theme-related blocks that may or may not work depending on how your site is designed. There are embeds where you can embed different kinds of content, such as social media content. And again, you can hover over these so you can learn more about them. And that pretty much covers it. We'll also learn that you can add additional blocks and block types to this as well. We'll learn that when we learn about plugins later on. For now, we are going to be adding all of the text that is in the instructions. Now, in the instructions, you'll notice there underneath the title, there is text, and I'm going to select all of it. Now, here's a word of warning. If you're using a Windows computer, you can select all the text, click over in your WordPress document, so select copy, and you can paste it in, and the content will be pasted in most of the time in a format that will work perfectly for you. For those of you that are using Apple computers, sometimes when you copy and paste, your content is going to come in as one great big huge blob of text. If you look closely at this, you're going to notice here's the paragraph, then here's the instructions, insert a more element, and then here is the heading 3 instruction, and then here is the next paragraph of text. This student that I got this example from, when they posted this information in, it all came in as one huge continuous block of text. I can tell you that this student was using an Apple computer, and after polling the students in the class, most of or all of the students that encountered this problem were using Apple computers. I could not tell you if it was a newer or an older Apple computer, but if you're using an Apple computer, there's a chance that you will have to do this the slow way. And the slow way is described in the instructions. Let me show you the slow way, and then I will show you the fast way. The slow way is to go into the instructions, and instead of selecting everything, you simply need to select the first paragraph and copy it. Then go over here and paste it in. Once you've pasted it in, hit enter, and you get another block. Then you can select the first instruction line, and you can copy that, and you can paste it in. And then you can hit enter to go to the next line. And you can continue going through the entire document, copying and pasting and hitting enter until you have entered all of the information from the Word document from page number 2. So this is rather slow, but it works. You can do it on any computer. Copy, paste, enter. Copy, paste, enter, until you have entered all of the content on the page. A faster way to do it, if you're using a Windows computer, this is what you, and even an Apple computer, this is what you can try. You can try selecting all of the content and copying it. Go to the block, paste it in. If it all pastes in as separate paragraphs, like what you see on my screen, that's excellent. That's what I'm hoping to see. If it pastes in and looks like this, you're going to have to click the undo button, and you're going to have to do it step or part by part by part. And unfortunately, it's just a function of some Apple computers. I have no idea why. It's something that that you're just going to have to deal with if you're using a computer that does it. And you may find it happens that way on the odd Windows computer as well, although I haven't had any students complain. After you have pasted all of the content in, I want you to note that when you click on any of the pieces of content that you've pasted in, you get a menu that pops up. And if you hover over the far left side of the menu where there's a little icon, you'll notice a box draws around the content. This is a block. Now, right now, all of the blocks that are on our page, if we click on any of them, they are all text or paragraph blocks. This is a paragraph. This is a paragraph. This is a paragraph, and so on. Paragraph blocks are the default type. They're just text, paragraphs of text, or sentences. So let's ignore this first instruction here, but let's look at this instruction that says this is supposed to be a heading level 3. I'm going to click inside the block, and when I go over here, I notice it's a paragraph block. But I can change the type of block. So if you recall earlier when we clicked on the plus, we could choose from the quick menu or from the side menu all different options of blocks. Because we pasted this in, it went in as a paragraph block. But once it's here, I have the ability to change the type of block. I cannot change it to something unrelated, but I can change it to something that is related and compatible with the contents of this block. So if I click on the paragraph icon, I get some options, and these are all compatible with the content that is contained in that block. And you can see the little preview that pops up as I hover over. I want a heading block. So I click on heading, changes to a heading. Notice this shows up as a heading. And over here I have heading options. These are the basic options for this block. Here I have a heading level 2. If I select this, I can change it to any level heading I want. I'm going to change it to a heading level 3. Then I can go back, and I'm just going to get rid of the instructions that are in the square brackets because I don't need those anymore. This is now a heading level 3. Another thing I'm going to point out, remember that side panel? If I open it again, you will find options under the block section here, different options that are available for this block style. So I can change the case, the appearance, the size, the color, various other elements. I'm not going to right now, but I want you to be aware that you can do that. If I click on a paragraph block, as you see up here, here are the options for a paragraph block. Color. What is the background color? Remember when we hovered over this and you saw that box that appeared? Well, that would be the background inside that box. So you could put a black box in and you could change the text color to white, for example, if you wanted things to stand out. And of course, we have text size as well. Again, I'm not going to change any of this. So continuing with the exercise, you will find each of the different blog posts that you have to create for this exercise have 3 headings. So you'll have to go through and set up a heading and remove the instructions in each of those cases. So here is this one, here's the last one, transform to heading, change it to heading level 3 because it's smaller. Go over here, get rid of the instructions. So now my headings exist. Now, up in the top, there is a save draft. WordPress is actually saving our work, but I recommend you click on Save Draft just to confirm that you actually want to save this content. Let's take a look at this instruction here. Insert Post Inline JPEG. Now, if you remember, when you downloaded the zip file, there were a bunch of pictures in it. Now, if your view simply shows the pictures like this, then you can see the names of the various pictures here. If your view allows you to see the actual pictures, then you can see the names underneath and you can see the pictures. You may not see the extensions. Maybe you just see the names. Doesn't matter because you know what the name of the picture is. You can see a preview of it here. This post 1 inline is the picture that we're going to put into our blog post. So here where it says insert post 1 inline, if I click on this, you'll notice it's a paragraph. If I click on the icon, you'll notice I do not have the ability to transform it into a picture because the content is not compatible. So what do I do? Well, I'm going to go to the other end of this block menu, and I'm going to make sure that I have the correct one selected here. And on the 3 dots, I'm going to choose either add before or add after. What this will do is add an empty block either above or below this block. I also want you to notice when you're looking at this, there is a delete down the bottom. So you can actually delete a block using this as well. So click on the 3 dots, get the menu, context menu. You can delete a block or you can make other changes to them. Here I'm going to choose add after, and notice I get a blank block underneath. I can now click on the plus, and from this I can choose image. Now if you don't see image in the list, click on browse all, and over on the right side under media you should see image, and you can choose it there. Once you've selected image, you have a few choices. You can click on upload, you can click on media library, or you can click on insert from URL. Now, I could click on upload here and quickly upload the picture and it will appear. But instead, I'm going to click on media library. Let's try that again. When you click on media library, you get a screen that looks like this. And by the way, it is the media menu that you're actually at now, and I'll show you that in a little bit. The first screen you have, media library, will show you any pictures that you might have previously uploaded to the site. I have not uploaded any pictures, so that's empty. So I have the ability to upload files by clicking here, or you'll notice there's an upload files tab here, which basically provides the same box. If you click on select files, you should be able to go and find where you downloaded your files, and you should be able to pick the Post 1 inline picture as instructed and choose Open. You will see it upload. Notice on the right-hand side, you can see the information about the file, the name of the file, the date that the file was uploaded, the size of the file, the dimensions of the file. There's an edit button if you want to play with that. Then we have this area here. Hopefully I'm going to describe this correctly, but I would call this information metadata. This is data that will be kept with the file that doesn't necessarily show up on the screen, but that you should include with every file you upload. So every single file you upload, there are things that you should fill out here. This is why I did not just click the upload button, because when I clicked the upload button in that earlier screen, when I was in my actual post, it will not bring me here. So that's why I selected Media Library. First thing I want to do is put in some alternate text. Now, if you're not sure what alternate text is, and you probably are not, click on this link so you can learn more about alternate text. It explains a little technical, but explains what it is. From a simple perspective, if the picture cannot be displayed by the web browser, usually the web browser will display the alternate text instead. Now, there are okay, better, and best ways to do alternate text, and I'm not going to get into those right now. But I am going to put alternate text in. I'm going to just type in featured image, because that's what this is. It is a featured image. I'm not going to do any more than that. It's a featured image. Actually, no, this one's not a featured image. This is just an inline image. Let's call this an inline image, or I can just do a photograph. Something just to describe what it is. Inline photograph. Good enough. The next thing I want to consider is the title. Now, I don't have to change the title, but notice the title is the same as what it says up here. It's the file name. I have the opportunity to change the title of the picture. Now, it may not show up on the screen anywhere, but here I have the opportunity to add some keywords or words that are relevant to the content of this post. Think of this like a search engine optimization trick or tip. So I'm going to put in for a title, puppy, small puppy photo for the title. Just somewhat describing, not deeply describing, but somewhat describing the picture. I'm going to skip the caption because not all pictures need captions. If you want to put a default caption, you can. But this description box is the next one that you should fill in from a search engine optimization and a search engine placement standpoint. If somebody with a visual impairment is going to look at your website or be reviewing your website, they'll be using assistive technology. That assistive technology will not be able to automatically describe the picture for the person. Now, we're getting closer to that day, but right now, when the picture comes up in the website, the assistive technology reader will say inline photograph, title, small puppy photo, description, and then it will read the description of the picture. Now, you've heard the concept that a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, you're not going to type 1,000 words here, but if a picture is that valuable, at the very least, put in a description that provides or explains the value of this picture to whoever might be viewing it through assistive technology. So, photo of the face of a small white puppy looking at the camera. Now, of course, this is kind of, I'm going a bit cheap on this, but you might want to describe it better. Remember, you're a marketer. If this picture is important to be there, explain what value the picture brings to the post. Add your comments, add your description. Don't make it too long, but think of somebody with an assistive technology device where reading this description, you want that visitor to your website to be able to understand what the picture is about and what value the picture brings. Once you've typed your description in, then you can choose the select button. All this will automatically be saved, and your picture will appear in your post. Note that you do have some picture options here. You've got a crop, you've got the ability to put text over the image, which is different than a caption, sometimes better than a caption. You can turn the image into a link. You can add a caption. You can change the alignment. You can do various filters. You can replace the picture, and of course you can delete it if you need to, if you click on the three dots. You'll also notice that if you open the settings panel, there are settings that are related to the picture here as well. So you can change the size, you can change the resolution, you can update or set the alternative text. So there's various other different styles you might choose. So there are some options, creative options available in this panel. I'm going to leave them all alone. I'll click on Save Draft again. The last thing that you need to do for this post is actually in the side panel. So, one more thing, almost forgot. The More element. Let's go to or click in this More element paragraph. Let's click on Add After to add a block, and then click on the plus to add a block. Click on Browse All, and scroll down to the design area of all the options and just click on the block called More. I'm not going to get into exactly what it does right now, just add that block. We'll learn more when we're talking about themes, about what the value of this is, but just follow the instructions to add this block, which is in the design area. Once you've added that block, you can delete the instruction block by clicking on the three dots and deleting the instruction block. Now we can go open the side panel again. And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to insert a featured image. And that is done in the post section. So the block applies to whichever block is currently selected. Post applies to the entire post. Options for the entire post are listed here. Various details about the URL, the visibility, and so on. A few other options that we have here: who the author was, it should always be you. How many times it's been revised. We have the ability to add categories, which we will do later on, just not today. You have the ability to add tags. Think about different keywords or phrases people may use when they're searching for information that is contained within your blog. When you write your blog, you may not be able to correctly or easily weave all those possible keywords or phrases into your content. Some of them just won't fit. So maybe there's a slang term people will use when they're searching, and you don't want to use slang terms in your actually content because you want it to be professional looking and sounding. You could tag it with the slang term. That way, that term is associated with your post. And when people search for that term, it might actually show that information, bring your post up in the search engine results. So adding tags is another search engine optimization trick and tip, and something that you absolutely should do. But we don't have time in this video to cover that right now. So both categories and tags should be used. Bottom line, no post should be uncategorized. But again, that's for a different lesson. We want to go to the featured image section here. And when you open it, you'll notice there is no featured image. We want to click on Set Featured Image. And we have the picture that we uploaded previously. It brings us to our media library. We're going to go to Upload Files. We're going to choose Select Files. We will pick the Post 1 featured image, which is this one here, and click on Open. And again, we have the alt text and the other metadata here. So we'll put in featured image here. We'll change the title to photo of two puppies. And in the description, we will write a description. Two small white puppies curled up together under some bushes with sunbeams filtering through. Write something that adds value to the picture that will, remember, you're talking about someone with a visual disability that's using assistive technology. Write something that will be of value to that visitor. Once you've done that, you can click on Set Featured Image, and we now have the featured image. This is all of the content for the exercise in the post. Remember, there are still categories and tags that we should consider, but that's a different lesson. Once you have completed it, you're happy with it, you can either save it as a draft and go away and come back later if you want, or you can click on Publish. When you click on Publish, you have some options. Visibility, we're going to leave that as public. Publish immediately, which is what we're going to do. It's suggesting you add tags in a category, and as I've said, this is important. You should do that. You could do it here, but right now we will just bypass this and we're going to click on Publish. It asks us, it may ask us when, actually it won't, it's just going to publish it. And then we have the ability to click on View the Post, and we'll be able to see what the post looks like. Notice that up here, it shows us the date that it was posted, who it posted by, and here's the uncategorized. Really, this should be in actual category, but again, we'll learn about that later. So to complete this exercise, you need to do the other two posts. So go back to your dashboard, go back to Posts, click on Add New Post, go to page 3, and use this content. Once you've done that, go back to your Posts page, Add New Post, and do the third one. It's just practice, but you need all 3 posts because these posts will be used in the next exercise, which is the themes exercise. To hand this in, I will just show you what you need to do to hand this in. Let me see if I can find, I got to go back to Blackboard here. To hand this in, what I would like to see is once you've completed your 3 posts, courses. Once you've completed your 3 posts, sorry, should have had this open already. Go back to the exercise submission, WordPress posts. And what I would like you to hand in is a screen capture of your dashboard with posts open, with the 3 posts visible, your URL visible at the top, and the publish date. And keep in mind that this needs to be completed by the due date as stated in Blackboard. So there is our posts exercise. Don't forget that this isn't about getting it done. It's about getting familiar with how to create and construct a post. So take your time, look things over. If you mess your post up, you can always delete it and you can start over again. It's not a huge amount of stuff that you're doing here. So if you completely screw it up, just delete the post and start over again. That's what I would recommend. Learn how to create posts. Hope that's helpful, and thank you very much.